A lot of us are out of position. There's something small in the way of what God is trying to do. We have this, the TV is on, and we keep it on TBN. And the Word channel.
The Word Network. You preach, sir.
Yes, Lord. And we're saying the right things.
Yes, sir.
But God is trying to change our station to say something else.
Yes, sir.
But we already know everything.
Yes, sir.
And we're not able to receive what He's doing because there's something blocking the signal.
That's good stuff.
Something has gotten in the way of the signal.
Jesus.
If we go to 1 Samuel the 13th chapter, verses 10 through 13, I'm going to read some of this, and I'm going to try to read points of it. It says, just as he's finished making offering, Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him. What have you done? Samuel replied. When I saw the men that were scattered, and you did not come at the set time, and that the Philistines were assembling in Michmash, I thought, now the Philistines will come down against Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor. I felt compelled to offer a burnt offering. I felt compelled to offer a burnt offering. This is Samuel and Saul talking. Saul was the king. Saul was the king that God had appointed over the children of Israel. But what happened was Samuel was the man of God. Samuel was the prophet of God at the time. And before these men went into war, the prophet of God would come and he would say, okay, it's time for you to go to war. You're going to win this war. God is blessing off on this war. But what happened was Saul had watched Samuel do this so many times that he just about had Samuel's ritual down pat. And Samuel wasn't responding and wasn't there fast enough for Saul. So Saul said, well, I'm going to do it. I feel compelled. I feel a positive energy. I feel good right now. I'm going to offer up the sacrifice myself because the man of God, he running behind time. So I'm going to go ahead and do this myself. Samuel told him, said, you act foolishly. You have not kept the commandments of your God that God gave you. If you had, you would have established your kingdom over all of them. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out the man after his own heart and appointed him leader of the people because you have not kept the Lord's commands. He said, your kingdom will not endure. This simply means ain't nothing going to happen to your kingdom because your kingdom didn't mess up. This is about you. You acted out of line. You sit here, you threw up my name and you threw up the right signals and you got your people believing that they heard that you heard from God now. And now they're getting ready to risk their life for you. But you went through a ritual. You haven't got the blessing of God. Moving without God, expecting him to bless off on it. A lot of us, we make decisions. We say, well, I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. And I'm going to get this because God. Said I can have what I want to have. He said, this up. He said I can have what I want to have. I can go with. I can do this, and we take whatever we want. And we bless off on it ourselves. Haven't heard a thing from God.
Heard nothing.
And we get it, and then we lose it. We say, well, that must have been the devil. No, you weren't supposed to get that to start with. You were out of line to begin with. Saul had another problem. He was self-elevating himself. He had that pride, that attitude. A lot of us, we get into position. The first thing we do, we stop reading our word. We start studying because I'm bishop now. I'm elder now. I'm pastor now. I'm minister now. I'm usher now. I'm this now. That means I am chosen of God. You will look at me. I am the one with authority. Self-elevation. And then it becomes about you. You have people worshiping you instead of worshiping God.
That's it.
Then if you fall,
that's it.
The whole army falls because they weren't serving God. They weren't trying to get a relationship with God. They were searching after a relationship with you. Because you're in position.
Yes, sir.
But you're out of line. In position, but out of line.
That's good.
In conclusion, I want to ask you the question, are you out of position? Are you out of position? Are you not even the place where you used to be anymore? Are you out of position? Are you in position but not using the authority that God has given you to stand in your position?
Wow.
Say it again, sir.
Wow, sir.
Or are you in position but out of line? If you fall into these three categories, I have three answers for you. If you're the one you say, well, I'm out of position, well, the first thing you need to do simply is get into position. Get back to the place where God has sent you to begin with.
Yes, sir.
Get back to that place where you were reading the Bible like you were doing the things that you were going to places where you were supposed to go, hanging around the people that you were supposed to hang around. What changed? What is keeping you from doing what you want to do, what you're supposed to do? The things that you went to when the devil was beating you up, God will take that very thing and turn your trial into your testimony for him.
Yes, sir.
That very thing that was destroying you, God will use that very thing to build him up, to lift him up, because he allowed you to go through that because he knew you was coming back. But he let you see that world out there is no joke. The devil is meant to kill, to steal, and to destroy everything about you.
Yes, sir.
But some of us, we have to touch it and get burnt before we realize that.
Speak, sir.
That's when we start preaching. It's hot. Because we've been burnt before. Are you in position and not using it? My answer for you is to start tapping into your authority. When you start tapping into your authority, you will have real love.
Yes, sir.
You will know what real love is. I first understood real love when I saw somebody that I thought to be worse off than me. And I looked at him when I would have been like, dang, man, he poor. He this and he that, he that. First thing jumped in my head is you don't know what that person went through. You don't know where that person used to be at. You don't know if that person had a job and lost a job because he lost his mind. You don't know what that person was going through.
Yeah.
I started to learn real love. Real love wasn't about looking at somebody. If they look like me, talk like me, and seem like I can relate to them, I can get with them, I can love this person. Real love is looking at people that don't look like you. And being willing to stretch out your hand to them and help them because there's a God that helped you in the same situation. When you tap into your authority, you can forgive other people.
Yes, sir.
Forgiving is a big thing simply because of the fact there's some of us Christians right now that can't move on in our Christianity because we still have grudges with people that did us wrong in high school.
Preach, sir.
My God, it's the truth.
We still hating that person. That person done moved on, got married, got children, got their own life, and you can't do nothing because you still holding on to that same situation. When you step into the authority that God has given you, God will give you the power to be able to just let things go.
Yes.
Sir.
Taking the weight off of you and just casting it on him, because a lot of us, we're carrying things that we don't need to be carrying.
That's it.
But we're trying to hold on to it. The real authority will allow you to let things go. Things won't bother you the way they used to bother you. Situations come up, things not going your way, it won't even have the same effect on you because you're like, you know what? I'm God's child. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing the best that I know how to do. This thing is only a test. This too shall pass. And I don't have to walk around and tell everybody, woe is me. I'm going through this. Please pray for me. Because this is going on this and I don't know how long this is going to last. And y'all hold my hands up. And y'all do it. Don't nobody want to hear that all the time. Don't you start, the person that's always, do you ever have somebody that's always going through something?
Yes.
Jesus.
Like they don't ever have the victory.
Yeah. Preach, sir.
They're never on top. And you start seeing them, like I see some in the grocery store, and I see them before they see me, I be like, yes. Because I already know when I talk to them, I say, how you doing? They're going to be like, well, I fell down the steps this morning, and I took my toe, and I'm going to have surgery, and I'm going to this and that, but God is good.